name's Kane Johnson. I'm a firefighter engineer with the Huntington Beach Fire Department. I am part of our peer support team. I've been on our team for about 5 years now. And sitting next to me, wanting to get off of this tailboard, is Kingman. And Kingman is a chocolate lab rescue from the Patriotic Service Dog Foundation. He's going to be 3 years old in July, and he's part of our peer support team. He's there to provide comfort and to kind of be that icebreaker for us as we go through traumatic and stressful situations on a shift-by-shift basis throughout our career. So we have a lot of cumulative trauma that builds up, plus individual traumatic events that occur. And for us, as a kind of a type A personality, go-getter, independent, people group, it's real hard for us to open up. We feel like maybe it's a sign of weakness, or maybe we feel like it's not valid for us to feel certain emotions during traumatic incidents. So he's there to kind of allow that to be okay, because a dog doesn't care about anything other than you and being pet and fed and playing and stuff. It's all like really happy, fun times and emotions. So when we're going through something critical and having strong emotions of sadness or concern or stress or trauma, he makes it okay to experience and process that. It makes it more of a positive environment versus what can be perceived as negative or something that's more inclined to avoid. So he allows us to normalize that. So Kingman came from Kingman, Arizona, from the Mojave County Animal Shelter, and to my understanding, there's a woman there that kind of has an eye for what types of dogs and what types of demeanors in these dogs would make a good service dog or a therapy dog, or in our case, a peer support dog, which is in the therapy dog world. And so she'll send dogs or have Tom or Terry or anybody come out and check out these dogs and meet up with them and kind of test them and see if they would make a good therapy dog or service dog. Kingman was one of them, and he came to the foundation. I think he was, from what I was told, about 18 months old or so, maybe a little older, and they began training him. They trained him for approximately 6 months, and then I came in and started working with him. And we've been training together for about 4 months or so now, almost 5 months, I guess. And it's been a great journey. And so he is an incredible dog with a great demeanor, and he's very positive and loving. So the woman out there that saw him definitely saw correctly in him. And so him being a peer support dog under that therapy dog window means he's not like a service dog, so he doesn't have access rights, so he can't go to the grocery store with me or go to the movies with me or anything like that. He can only go where he's invited to go, or dog-friendly places. So he's always invited to the fire station, and always invited to come and help out in times of need, and he's welcome at hospitals and that kind of thing. So it's been really fun to just journey with him and just get to know him and become a team and bond. Let's see. I think Kingman's favorite part of the job is just being loved on by everybody. So a lot of times, I see him all the time, and so I get a lot of people saying, like, "Oh, he's so mellow. Oh, he's just hanging out." And I go, "Wow!" I see a different side of him a lot of times, especially with chipmunks and rabbits or squirrels, and rabbits and stuff like that. He goes nuts and goes crazy. So he's got really good positive energy, and he feeds off of everybody's energy. So if he's napping and hanging out, and then somebody comes in and is really excited to see him and wants to pet him and stuff, he's happy. He's more than happy. His tail starts wagging, and he just gets in and meets their energy with positivity. So from what I've seen, that's like his favorite part is just being loved on. It's almost like I don't give him enough love, apparently, but it's crazy. So I'm like, I do that all the time, but he loves it when other people get out. So at the Patriotic Service Dog Foundation, Tom Tackett really does a good job of, like, if you're going to be a handler, you kind of, before you start training, you come out for a visit. You come out to see the ranch and meet dogs, and you end up typically working with a dog that day, even if you didn't know you're going to work with a dog. And that usually comes from Tom kind of having an idea of what dogs are available and kind of getting to know your personality and trying you out and then trying to match you with a dog. So what's interesting is we were paired up with another dog that also came from the same shelter, and Kingman was actually working with another individual at the time, and then that individual started working with a different dog and Kingman was working with nobody. And then out of the blue, the dog we were working with failed the program, had a little bit of an aggressive action towards another dog in the program. They had a zero tolerance policy for that. And that dog ended up being adopted, and we stopped working together. And I was really bummed out because we've been working together for a while, and it really affected me quite heavily. But I always remember seeing Kingman. I saw Kingman working with the other individuals, working with them, and I would see him in the kennel, and I always remember going, that dog is so beautiful, and that dog has such a cool attitude and demeanor, and it seemed really low-key, but also really fun and playful when he was training. And I always thought, man, I like petting him, and he was an incredible dog. And he was available at the time. And so I remember Tom, I didn't know who was going to work with or what dog was going to be available, and Tom said, hey, like you're going to work with Kingman. And I go, what? Brad, okay. And I'm like, okay, let's get started. And one of the main things, minus his demeanor, his attitude and how fun he is and playful, is his coat. He's a very fluffy dog, and he's very soothing to pet. So around his neck, he's really fluffy, and his whole body's fluffy. He's got a big bushy tail. And for his job, which is to be pet and loved on, I couldn't ask for a better dog to be there. I mean, everybody that pets him, he's so soft. Oh, I love petting him. Oh my gosh. And they get so comforted by that. And I find myself doing the same thing. I pet him, I go, oh, this is so relaxing to just touch this dog. Versus other dog breeds with shorter hair, they're cute and they're loved and it's fun to pet and rough them up, but it doesn't have that same feel. And he's very unique in that way, and he's got that coat, and I think that's so special and it's perfect for what he's doing for us. Yeah, so our training, we continue to train all the time. We still go out to the ranch, the Patriotic Service Dog Foundation, once a week and train out there with official training to maintain. And then every other day we do training, like specific training that we'll do. We're kind of training all the time, like I'll do little things periodically, but I was always told by Tom that I'm an over-trainer. I train him too much, which is probably not too, unique for the fire department. We definitely are known to overtrain and overdo things like that. So I kind of carried that on to that. So he was like, hey, you gotta settle down and you train short bursts, every other day or 3 times a week. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But periodically when we're walking and doing things, we definitely work on little things. So yeah, we're constantly training, keeping up on stuff. And then we have to get certified annually. So every year we go in and get certified like we did at the very beginning. So I can't just let training go by the wayside. So we always have to keep up on that and keep going as a team. So workday for Kingman is not too dissimilar to what he does at home, or what he gets to do at home. When we come to work, he just gets more attention and more love. So when he's at work, it's probably actually better just because there's so many people that want to be around him and want to play with him and want to give him a good time and pet him and all that stuff. And so he kind of rules the roost around here. So he kind of just has free reign where he gets to kind of wander around. As long as he's not eating things off the ground and getting into trouble and stuff, he's good to go. So we have our same routine we try to keep. So we walk about 3 to 4 times a day. So same thing at home and here. We do the same, right around the same times and roughly the same distances. At the station I can't go as far as I can at home just because we're available for calls. I have to be relatively close to the station. But yeah, so we do that and we do our training. If the training day falls here, we train here. And we do playtime here just like we do at home. So the only difference is that when we get a call, he has to go in his kennel. And so I try to match that at home as well, where I give him kennel time, where I'm like, okay, you're gonna be in your kennel for like an hour or whatever. Then we get out and we'll play, or go walk or do whatever, run around the house. And then like I might give him some more kennel time a little bit later. So we try to match it so it's not too significant of a change for him. But he definitely is different when he comes from home, when we're home for a while, because we work two full, so we work 48 hours in a row, and then we have 4 days off. And then we can also work up to 96 hours in a row. So, but our typical schedule is 48 hours on, 4 days off, or 96 off. So we're at home for a little bit, and he's used to it, the routine. And I pop him in my truck in the back of the kennel, and he's in the crash-rated kennel in the truck, and he's out there, and we're coming to work, and I see he gets out, and he goes, smells the air, he goes, oh, I'm by the ocean, here we go, I guess I'm at work. And then he's at work for 2 days, so he's like, it's gotta be so weird for him to just adjust and know that he's, oh, I guess I'm here today, and he just blends right in and starts doing his job, so. Kingman, he likes to, he loves going on walks. So his favorite thing, I think, when I say walk and we go, he loves, he gets all amped up and he's super pumped on going out and seeing the world out there. He loves playing with the tiller tug. He has a tiller tug toy. That's like his favorite thing, and we'll train with it and we'll play with it. And he flings it around and tugs on it and goes nuts. It's made out of fire hose, so it's really cool. And then he loves playing with the ball too, with the chucking ball. But he's so interesting. He just likes being outside, and so I might throw the ball, and he'll go run and chase it, and then he'll get distracted. Like he's like squirrel. He's like just like the movie Squirrel. And he'll go off and do something else when he's supposed to get the ball. And so that's like his favorite thing. And then just I think resting. He loves to rest. He loves hanging out and just chilling out and staying in his little bed. So we're working on getting him in the water. He's a Labrador, but he's from Arizona, so he's not he doesn't have the ocean where he came from. So we've been working on getting him on the stand-up paddleboard and getting him in the pool. And our station has the harbor right out back, so that's where we've been working on paddling and just getting used to something different. And yeah, he loves the beach. He doesn't always like the water, but he loves the beach, chasing birds and all that stuff. It's his favorite. So he eats, so Kingman eats Nature Select Classic Recipe. We feed him like just over 3 cups a day. He eats once a day in the evening. And so the Patriotic Service Dog Foundation, Tom Tackett, that was his advice and recommendation was to use Nature Select. And the reason he would tell me is because of the ingredients that they're really high quality and really highly sourced ingredients that you can kind of track, and it's a local company that you can talk to the people. You're not talking to somewhere else, and you actually have interaction with them, and you can ask them questions about where the dog food comes from, where do the ingredients come from. They can show you, and so you can go to the factory, check out the operation, and see how things run. And so it's really important to support that, and it is high quality ingredients, and he loves it. He has no problem eating it, which is great. You never know. I always hear stories of people with dogs like, oh, I didn't try this, oh, they didn't like this food, or oh, they didn't like that food, and it's never been a problem with the Nature Select Classic Recipe. So yeah, we're very thankful that we have that, and it makes my job easy. I don't have to worry about it. Just keep getting the monthly subscription. I just do that, and so it comes to my door, which is really cool. I never have to go to the store to buy food. I love that because I'm busy, so it's nice. And I just, every once in a while, it's out there, and there's my bag of food for Kingman, so I really appreciate that. Oh boy, yeah. I would say, so the most rewarding part of the job that I have with Kingman is I will liken it to kids. So my wife and I don't have kids, but obviously many of our friends do, and we always hear them talk about, just seeing their kids interact with other people, and you just hope that they do good, but you just see them play. You're like so proud of them, and especially as they grow, get older, and the things they learn. You're like, oh my gosh, look at them, doing that and doing this and achieving these things. So I get to see him. Interact with people, and I usually step back. So sometimes he has free reign where he can go just wander around like he's doing right now, or sometimes I might have him on a leash. But typically when he's working, he's either doing that or I'm on a leash, and I have to step back and I just let him, do his thing. I love watching. It's like a proud parent is what I'm getting at. As I look at that and I go, oh my gosh, it brings joy to me to see him just sitting there being absorbing these pets from people and seeing people smile and talk about him and love on him, and it's so rewarding. It makes all the training and all the stress of having basically a toddler with me at work every day that I have to keep an eye on, well worth it. It's unbelievable. So he's a joy, and he brings so much joy to people. That's my favorite part. Is really sitting back and watching him do his thing. So Kingman, you'll see him wearing a vest when he's on duty in an official capacity, and then sometimes you'll see him without a vest. But what I've noticed, which I really appreciate as a handler, is when people, adults and kids especially, I'm very impressed with, when they come up and they ask if it's okay to pet Kingman, which is really always something you should do. Regardless if the dog's wearing a vest or not, you should always ask if it's okay to pet the dog, because you never know if that dog's friendly with people or is supposed to be pet or whatnot, and especially when they're wearing a vest. When they're wearing a vest, you never know. Because if they're a service animal or they work for the fire department in like arson capacity or search and rescue capacity, they're not allowed to be pet, and that kind of can derail their training a little bit. But Kingman is allowed to be pet, right? So I appreciate when you ask, but every time you see him, if you ever see Kingman and you see us together, you can definitely pet him, and I will strongly encourage you petting him for sure. But it's always a good habit to ask if we can pet the dog when he's in the vest, and even if not to, but I really appreciate that all the time. But again, never hesitate to pet him, and if you do seem hesitant, I will always encourage you to pet him for sure if I forget to let you get out.